What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hustling Sideways podcast. I'm Alan Halas. I'm a music writer.
And I'm Jim Love, and I'm a keynote and motivational speaker.
And in addition to some of the episodes that we have where we talk to some amazing guests, like the guests that we've had on recently, and all of our guests, they've all been amazing.
Yeah, that sounded pretty specific. I think
Recency
they've all generally
bias.
been, recency bias. They've been amazing. And maybe you're next, and you will also be amazing. How does that sound?
Sounds great to me. But instead of doing that today, we are talking about things that side hustlers, entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call yourself, you're going through. So today we are talking about trusting your gut.
Ooh, following that thing inside of you that says do that or don't do that.
Yes, exactly. I think at some point, everybody that has a business probably runs into that point where they go, is this worth it? Am I doing the right thing?
Yes.
Or they're faced with some sort of decision or ultimatum where they're, it's you can overthink it.
100%. I know we've talked about overthinking before too. And I think if you haven't had a moment like this, you will. And if you have, you get it. And what we've really found is typically you have your best interests in mind. That's the way it goes. So I'll start off kind of with some of my experiences in two ways of following my gut and following my intuition. So the first is actually when I started to take my speaking life more broadly than just like I've done a seminar or two, and now I feel like I can actually do a thing. So I got help from a friend of mine who's not Alan. I apologize. This wasn't you who helped me out with my website. It was someone else. His name is Sam Wormuth, great guy. I know he listens to this podcast actually. So yeah, shout out Sam. But anyway, someone who was really good in tech, et cetera, did all this. But I was like, do I really want to like make this known that I can speak, that I can do this, and because I didn't know if it would be well received. I just wasn't sure. I never had tried this, and so I followed my gut, and I was like, let's do it because this is something I care about deeply, and the people who support me care about me caring about it deeply, if that makes sense.
Yes,
so,
it does.
Which I hope it does for all of you. So I remember making it, and the reception was awesome. People were excited. It was actually right before St. Patty's Day of 2016.
Did you show them on St. Patrick's Day? Because if you did, those are some skewed opinions. They've had a few green beers.
Yeah, the Guinness didn't help. However, I would say that I came out with this website, and all the older folks who were at the St. Patty's Day party at my parents' house were like, I read the article about you. Great article. And I was like, sounds like you didn't click on the website. Sounds like you just looked at it was really funny. And as I had more alcohol, my response got pettier and pettier. So it was really funny. But that worked really well. I created a brand, and I followed my gut on it. And then the second example I would give is when COVID first hit. Obviously my business was essentially shattered because I'm in-person speaking just didn't happen. So I decided I was going to make videos and offer videos for free to schools who wanted it to get their students motivated. 10 or 15 minutes, whatever I could do. And not something that I would typically have done, but a thing that made me still on top of their mind, a thing that I knew I could use a resource to help.
Yeah.
And it was frankly the right thing to do. And so I did it, and it was great. I did like 15 of them and had a blast. And those schools then were like, this went really well. We want to keep talking to you. And I just followed my gut to do a thing that not only the right thing to do, but the only thing to do is what I decided. And so that was great. And now obviously, we're back in doing this stuff in person, and it's been awesome. But I really kind of was validated in a sense that I knew the message I gave was important and students could relate to it. So both of those were moments of like, I should just do it in my head. And I did it, and it worked out really well.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, especially for you. That's like giving the product away kind of.
It was my thoughts and my value, and I know we've talked about that before too, right? And it was an important thing to happen because I knew that like if I need to give something. I was also restless, frankly. It was selfish. I'm like, I need to say something, right? So I was like, okay, let's go out, give this message, let them take it in for free, and it worked because they needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. That helps. I mean, that helped you and them.
Exactly.
But you did what you felt was the right thing to do.
Exactly.
So for me, the biggest sort of example of trusting my gut, when I switched careers, before I was working for the magazine that I'm working for now full time, I was working at a bank full time. And so when I switched over, it was kind of this turning point, and I was like, this could be the moment where I just shut it down and I say, well, you've won. You know what I mean? Like, because I got hired to write about music, so I got hired to do the thing that intentionally was like
the music writer got hired to write about music.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I kind of thought, this could be the moment where we just take everything and shut it down and start this new life working for this magazine. And lo and behold, I did not do that. I continued to.
I'm so glad you didn't do that.
Yeah, I continued to operate breaking and entering, and that was a very trust my gut like ultimatum moment of like, do I abandon the ship or do I say, yeah, I can do that and do this and balance these things and make it work? It's worked out for me immensely because I've gotten busier, working for the magazine,
right.
and I barely get to write about music as much as I want to, so now I get to do that for my own thing. And you know what? It's different because it's a different kind of set of rules. So, obviously, I mean, it's very similar, but for my thing, it is me. You know what I mean? There is no editing process. There is no whatever, like it comes straight from the head to the mouth to the typing, whatever, to the internet.
All the things. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, like that is kind of like, if I didn't trust my gut on saying, hey, you should continue this thing, who knows where I would have ended up, how I would have ended up feeling about it.
Yeah.
I feel happy about what we're doing and what I'm doing.
We probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There would be no side hustle.
Selfishly, that would be it. Hustle. Yeah. So we have all Alan to thank for this being a thing. I do think it's significant because a lot of people are probably, like having potential career changes or doing something that would impact the thing on the side.
Yeah.
And this is a call out that you can do it. You can make that happen and have them still both work in conjunction with each other.
If you want it enough and if you work as many hours as I do and do as much as you do,
it could happen.
Tell them we're recording at night. That's late.
Yeah, we've both had days, but that's quite all right.
No, if you want it, you're gonna feel it. I think anybody that is starting their business or having their own business and really wants to go for it, but they're just not there yet. Like if you're feeling it in your gut and it's that strong, you got to make the jump. You got to at least swing at it and see what happens.
And
you never know.
I will end this with a Britney Spears quote.
Oh, okay.
So. Yeah, get ready for this one. Britney Spears in the song "Till the World Ends," and I know it's not in the same context, but just roll with it because I just love Britney.
I'm here now. We're here.
She says, "If you feel it, let it happen."
Okay.
And Britney, I think, was actually speaking about following your gut for your side hustle. I would assume so. It wasn't about dancing or doing something wild on the dance floor.
Definitely not.
If you feel it, let it happen. That's Britney. Mark it down.
There we go.
And that's our talk for tonight.
I was to say that is
you got to end now.
Life advice from Britney Spears.
I love her.
You would have never guessed. So, anyway, thank you so much for listening. We will be back next week with a guest, and we are all over the place now. So if you want to find us, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we are on TikTok now. We are on all over the place. Twitter? Did I say Twitter?
Yeah, well, you didn't, but we are.
Well,
and our YouTube shorts are awesome. I'm like super biased. Let's be clear.
Recency bias.
But they're honestly they're really good, and you get to see clips of times where we talk to guests. And I don't know who's in our like tech department and social media department, but they do an amazing job of cutting it up. I'm not going to start pointing fingers at who that is, but
it's me. For you listeners out there.
So you enjoy it. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and seriously, we really appreciate you all following on this journey. And they can find us anywhere on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm losing it right now.
So you can find us on all of the social media platforms as well, wherever you get your podcasts. If you have your own side hustle, send us an email.
Yeah.
hustlingsideways@gmail.com. We always welcome new guests. We always want to talk to people. We always want to learn about people's stories. So, I mean, there we go. Make sure you check us out. Rate the show. Like it. Tell a friend. Be a friend. Tell a friend.
5 stars.
5 stars.
$5 stars.
Yes, sure. No, well, there's no $5 foot long.
All right. Keep on hustling.
See you next time.